So you've got cats at home, and you're thinking about bringing a new one into the family. Maybe you're fostering, maybe you're adopting. Well, if that's you, then you're in exactly the right place. We're about to break down the single most important thing you need to do to protect the pets you already know and love.
You did it. You scrolled through all the pictures, you went to the shelter, and you just fell in love. You are so excited, so ready to bring that little fluff ball home. I mean, the feeling is just amazing, right?
But, okay, this is where we have to pump the brakes for just a second. Because all that excitement, it can turn into absolute heartbreak if we're not super careful. That adorable new kitten could, without you even knowing it, be carrying some really serious invisible threats to your other cats. And that's exactly why, today, we're going to build what I call a protective shield. We're going to go through the exact step-by-step protocol for what we call strict isolation. And listen, this is totally non-negotiable. It is the best thing, the only thing, really, that you can do to keep every single cat in your house safe and healthy.
Look, this isn't about being overly cautious or paranoid. We are up against some really serious stuff here. We're talking about things like the feline panleukopenia virus, it's just devastating. It's incredibly contagious, and a lot of the time, it's fatal. And get this, viruses like that can survive on your floors, on your clothes, on anything for months, just waiting to spread. So this protocol, this is our absolute frontline defense.
So let's get practical. Let's get our hands dirty. Step 1, we're gonna build your fortress. And I don't just mean, clearing out a spare room. No. This is a dedicated, sealed-off, biosecure unit. It's designed to contain any potential sickness before it ever has a chance to get out.
And your fortress has to be fully stocked before that new cat even comes through the door. First, you need a room with a door that shuts completely. A bathroom or a spare bedroom is perfect. And inside, everything, and I mean everything, has to be dedicated only to that cat. We're talking their own food and water bowls, their own litter box, their own bedding that's either washable or you can just toss it. And you'll want to have all their meds, paper towels, and a trash can with a lid right there in the room with them. Nothing comes out of that room unless it is sealed up tight in a bag.
Okay, now for what might just be the most important part of this whole thing. The room itself is one thing, but it's what you do every single day. Those actions are what really keep that protective shield strong. This is a strict routine, and every single step matters. Every single day.
All right, let's walk through this together. Number 1, shoes. Have a pair of shoes that live inside that room and never leave it. 2, clothes. Get an old t-shirt, a smock, a gown, something you wear over your regular clothes that also stays in the room. 3, disposable gloves. They are your best friend. 4, after every single visit, you peel off those gloves and you wash your hands like you're scrubbing for surgery. Hot, soapy water. 5, and this one is so critical, you always take care of your healthy resident cats first and the new cat in isolation last. Never, ever go back and forth. And finally, 6 and 7 are all about supplies. Dedicated bowls, dedicated scoops, and you always scoop that isolation litter box last with its own scoop.
Okay, on to step 3, decontamination. Because even with a perfect daily routine, you have to have a plan for cleaning. Think of this as the chemical warfare part of the plan, plus the calendar that's going to get you safely to the finish line.
See this number? 1 to 32? I want you to burn this into your brain. This is your magic formula. It's the dilution ratio for bleach to water. It works out to about half a cup of bleach per gallon of water. Why is it so important? Because this specific mix is one of the only things that can actually reliably kill a monster virus like panleukopenia.
And here's the other magic number you have to remember, 10. 10 minutes. That bleach solution, it doesn't work instantly. You can't just spray and wipe. It needs to sit on a surface totally undisturbed for a full 10 minutes to do its job and kill the virus. You cannot rush this step. So, the big question, how long does all this last? Well, the absolute bare bones minimum is 3 weeks after the very last symptom is gone. I'm going to say that again, not from when they arrive, but from the day they are 100% healthy. And honestly, for something really nasty like panleukopenia, a lot of experts will tell you to go for a full 6 weeks. Why? Because the cat can actually keep shedding the virus for that long, even after they seem totally fine.
All right, let's take a breath here and talk about the difficult part. Because in a perfect world, this protocol would work 100% of the time. But
well, we don't live in a perfect world.
And this is the reality of it. You can do every single thing right. You can follow every step to the letter, check every box. And sometimes the virus still finds a way to spread. It just does.
If the worst happens, if there's an outbreak in your home, I need you to hear this and really let it sink in. It is not your fault. You are up against devastatingly clever viruses. So please, don't beat yourself up. You did the absolute best you could against an enemy you can't even see.
Okay, but what if you're listening to this and thinking, but I live in a tiny apartment, I don't have a spare room? Well, in that case, the goal just shifts a little. It goes from perfect isolation to harm reduction. Maybe you use a large dog crate or a playpen in the corner of a room. It's not ideal, no, but it is 1,000,000 times better than doing nothing. The key is you still have to follow all the other rules: the dedicated shoes, the gown, the gloves, the hand washing. Those become even more important.
And this leads us to maybe the hardest decision of all, knowing when it's time to take a break. If you keep having outbreaks, even when you're doing everything right, it might mean your home environment itself is contaminated. And it's a heartbreaking choice, but sometimes it's the necessary one. Maybe you have to stop fostering for 6 months or even a year to do a massive deep clean. Or maybe you pivot and you only take in fully vaccinated adult cats or older kittens who've already had a couple rounds of vaccine.
Look, I know this is a lot. This work is incredibly hard, it's emotionally draining, and sometimes, yeah, it's absolutely heartbreaking. But I want to leave you with this one thought. This is why we do it, why we build the fortresses and follow the protocols. Because for every single challenge, for every tough moment, the lives you do save make every bit of it worth it.